Mucklick here, and I don't like game reviews that take 20 minutes to give 5 minutes of information. This is Warcraft Billion. Age of Darkness Final Stand, a dark fantasy real-time strategy survival video game with single and multiplayer. It is available on PC and does not yet have an ESRB rating. The goal of this review is to determine whether or not this game is worth its time and price tag for you. The game's setting, with no spoilers beyond the tutorial. To quote the campaign opener, long ago in the Age of Darkness, the land of Eridar was ravaged by battles between the Alosan race above and the accursed nightmares below. Primitive humans were mere prey for the nightmares until the Alosa, in their wisdom, forged great crystals infused with their blood that could seal the nightmare breaches. With the nightmares contained, the Alosa taught us language, civility, and how to wield the dark crystals against a common threat. Together, we were able to rid the land of nightmares. Over the ages, humans thrived, conquering the lands of Eridar and beyond. The human king Ezekiel, in his lust for power, sought to overthrow the Alosa and gain their blood powers for himself. An act of unforgivable defiance, the Alosa banished King Ezekiel to the realm of nightmares. Our conflict with the Alosa spawned a bloody uprising that lasted generations. Eventually, the Alosan betrayers were eliminated from Eridar and the world entirely. In their place, the Order was founded, that might continue to battle the nightmares and seal them in the Veil. Kings and queens come and go, empires rise and crumble, yet the Order remain, ever a light in the darkness. The general gameplay. There are two different play modes, the campaign and survival. Survival has both single player and multiplayer options. The campaign plays with a focus on the story. You meet the various characters and the three factions. You play all three of them on various missions. On some missions, you only play the heroes, and on others, you use the game's base building mechanics as well. In survival and multiplayer, the objective is to survive until the end. Choose one of three factions, each with 2 hero options, unless you turn on the advanced challenges and disable the heroes. Gather resources, tech up, clear space on the map from the nightmares. Resource gathering is very similar to the game They Are Billions. Trees and such do not run out, but a lumber mill will provide more wood per second based on how many trees it is in range of. Make buildings that provide food, use that food to make homes that attract population. Spend the population on buildings that require personnel or troops to fight. This forces you to expand if you need more manpower and you have used up all the space you currently have. Periodically, nighttime will occur, which empowers the nightmares but increases rewards for killing them at night. On occasion, a death night will occur, which pushes in a thick wave of dark fog, forcing you back to your base, and a massive wave of nightmares will attack you. Surviving the final of numerous death nights earns you the victory. Survival provides a very healthy challenge. On veteran difficulty, the final night sent 33,000 enemies. How much playtime can you expect for your purchase? Age of Darkness Final Stand took me about 25 hours of gameplay for my first playthrough of the campaign and trying each of the 3 factions in survival once each before I stopped to make this review. Comparisons to other games. As I touched on earlier, 2 major titles feel like they inspired this one to me. Warcraft 3 with its memorable campaign, heroes that level up during RTS gameplay, creep camps and the like, and They Are Billions with the way that they utilize food, population, resource gathering, and the massive waves of attacks in the late campaign and survival maps. Details. The graphics. The graphics were crisp with different color palettes for the 3 factions, making them easy to distinguish and tell apart. The characters all looked unique and it was easy to remember who was who. Also related to this note was the lack of lag, which impressed me. My system is decent. Not bad, not great, but decent by today's standards, and even when I reached the climax, behave, of a veteran survival map and I was fighting for my life against 33,000 enemies, I never had any lag. Sound and music. Often during gameplay, you hear faint music and environmental noise, such as the crackling of fires or laborers at work. During cutscenes and climactic moments, the music picks up and is more noticeable. Controls. Age of Darkness Final Stand is played with mouse and keyboard. I've played many RTS games in the past, and many controls I intuitively reached for did work for this game. Things like assigning units to control groups, hotkeys, and things like that. It was rare that I reached for an RTS hotkey and it failed to work. Saving system. In the campaign, you can save at any time. In survival, you can save at any time you are not in the middle of a death night on the standard difficulty. On the higher difficulties of survival, it will autosave each day, and you get a limited amount of manual saves for that survival run, depending on the difficulty settings. On the veteran run I did, I was given 5 saves, for example. Content creator concerns. None. I streamed my entire playthrough on Twitch and YouTube and uploaded the entire thing to our Mucklet Plays YouTube channel and did not experience any muted VODs or have any issues with copyright claims. Do I have anything negative to say? A few minor items. I could not hold down a key to queue up a group of the same unit. I had to rapidly tap the key. On occasion, I would go to use an ability that had a targeting reticle, usually from a hero unit. The ability would go on cooldown and not actually fire. This only happened a few times with some heroes. Hopefully this will be fixed in a patch soon. The campaign was a lot of fun, but only had about 10 missions. I really enjoyed it, and I found myself wishing for more. Maybe I'll get lucky and they will expand upon that with an expansion someday. Could use a bit more unit variety. Each of the 3 factions basically has the same base units, plus 2 or 3 more for a total of around 10 units per faction. Not a ton to choose from, but there are a few options. Final thoughts. This game was a hybrid of 2 games I greatly enjoyed in the past, and I honestly feel like they nailed it. The writing of the campaign, the characters, threw me straight back into the Warcraft 3 campaign. The resource management, pressure to expand, and massive waves to chew through was straight out of They Are Billions, and I found myself loving every second of it. Due to the great visuals, a well-optimized engine that handled thousands of units without lag, good sound design, good story, and very few things for me to complain about, I have to say that Age of Darkness Final Stand absolutely left me feeling that it was worth its time and cost, and I plan to play more after finishing this review. This video was not sponsored, so if you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like button to help us out with the YouTube algorithm, and subscribe for more content. If you'd like to see more of my own playthrough of Age of Darkness Final Stand, I'll include a link to that playlist from our other channel down below. Subscribe there too. As always, a massive thank you to our dear patrons who make content like this possible. If you'd like to become a supporter and earn early access, there's a link to that in the description. Happy surviving out there! Oh, and I highly recommend upgrading siege units with the Chance to Stun Enemies upgrade.